What's up, everybody? Welcome to a new episode of the Bipolar Episode. Today, I'm actually going to take a moment to answer a question that was sent to me via email. So, of course, if you have any question, you can put them in the comment section down below. Or if you want to, be anonymous, you can always send me an email at danomitelife@gmail.com. Now, the question was asked to me after the episode that I did, where I was talking about the different episodes that someone may have while being bipolar. Someone asked me to define or go into a little bit deeper into what is the difference between mania and hypomania. And from my experience and everything that I've gathered, I'm going to do my best to be able to answer this question. So here we go. An episode of mania is defined by a euphoric or irritable mood associated with a physical or psychic hyperactivity. So it's a mood that's often described as euphoric. That basically means that you're elevated, you have an elevated mood, you have more energy, you're exalted, expansive, with a foolproof optimism. Like nothing can go wrong, everything will go your way. And you can see that some people have that inherently within their personality, where they I don't know, trial and test it. They know they can do it, so they have that confidence, that aura about them. But this really comes when it's an episode of mania or hypomania. Now, during an episode of mania, there will be a lability. It's a word that I actually learned not too long ago. It actually means that you are in between two things and going back and forth in between two things. So a lability will be observed in these moments. So that means that a person can express ideas or feelings that go against each other. So one person may be 1 second feeling sadness and then laughing at the same moment or quick moment afterwards. Or the person can go from anger to anxiety. To add to that, an emotional hyperactivity also can be observed in parallel to that. So we can see a person going through a manic episode, having overconfidence, and can border on being megalomania, grandiose ideas, superiority, even invincibility. Now, a lot of times also what can happen in these moments is someone will have unrealistic future projections, like plans that they're going to do for the future, and those plans are a little bit unrealistic. Let's say write a novel in 3 days, or be able to fix world hunger overnight, these kind of things. So that's things that are happening when you're in a manic episode. Now the thing really to remember is that it affects your physical hyperactivity, it affects your emotional hyperactivity, and also your psychic hyperactivity. You can see reduction of sleeping time, an absence of fatigue, loss of appetite. Those are concrete signs that you can see, concrete symptoms that you can see. And hypomania, when it compared to mania, it's the same characteristic that someone can actually have. So the same thing as a manic episode, but the symptoms aren't as numerous and they're less intense. But because hypomania can sometimes slip unnoticed, it's less spectacular. Therefore, it's not something that, I'll give you an example. So someone that has the foolproof optimism, right? In mania, it will be foolproof, as in you can even think that you're invincible. You can think that you can do whatever and there's no way you can fail. While in hypomania, it will be like that, but there might be a little bit of reservation. It might be less grandiose. So basically, the person is not going to try to do things that are as incredible, but the feeling is still the same. The optimism is still the same. It's just that it's not at the same level. But when sometimes we say that, people feel like there's a difference between, that hypomania is better than mania. The reality is that they both have their own challenges, and that's why they're also they're treated differently. Often happen is that if you're in mania, it's something that's visible. So maybe people around you might be able to help you a little bit more, or be able to see the signals and the symptoms a little bit earlier. While if you're in mania or hypomania, What happens, unfortunately, is that sometimes some people might not notice the symptoms. They might be thinking that you're just in a good mood or just having a good streak right now. And even yourself might be thinking that maybe I'm just in a good mood or things are just going okay, until you start realizing that the symptoms start piling up, and then you might realize you have a problem. So for someone that's really looking at the symptoms, it might be easier to determine that you're in mania. But at the same time, when you're in mania, it might be harder, even though you recognize it, to be able to deal with it, because of the foolproof optimism and euphoria and all that. While in mania, it might be harder to deal with it because it's harder just to determine that you actually have it. So once again, it's the same thing as, bipolar type 1, type 2, type 3. I don't think there's any lesser form of it. It's just different facets of it, and therefore you have to treat it different ways. So I hope this answers your question. If you have any questions regarding to that, of course, like I always say, you can always feel comfortable, or should feel comfortable, to leave a comment down below. If you don't feel comfortable putting in a comment down below, you can always comment on the back end of my channel, trying to reach me that way, or always send an email to danomitelife@gmail.com. So I'm going to put the address. Sorry about that. I'm going to put the address down there, right there. So I might not be the best person to go into this because it's a little bit complicated, but the gist of it is, like I said, the symptoms aren't as numerous and are less intense when comparing mania to hypomania, although the symptoms can be very similar, but not at the same strength or level of grandiosity. So that's going to be it for us today. We try to keep these episodes very short, but as educative as possible. If this video helps you, or if you think it can help someone that you may know, please share this video with them. Once again, thank you very much for your time, and have yourself a good one. Bang.